3/4 of a question. Eight o'clock may be too early for people to finish dinner. Is that it? Maybe. You had 8:15 before? Other two retreats you had 8:15? So we have two choices. Do you want to rush through dinner and come at 8? Okay. We should. There. I think so. There was a kind of a unanimity in the air. So on that note, Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we'll go with the 1/4 of the question first. Yeah. Could you explain again how the sense objects are superior, subtler, greater, and inner than the senses? Because it doesn't make any sense. That's why. Okay. Aren't the senses more conscious than the physical sense objects? Please excuse the ignorance. Nothing to excuse. You know, this shloka stumps even the Vedantins, people who are in Vedanta. Okay, Vedant in. So it stumps even the seasoned Vedantins. Who is a seasoned Vedantin? One who has seen Vedanta for many, many seasons. Yes. So the seasoned Vedantin is also stumped. Now, we have two interpretations of this verse. One is to see it exactly how it is, and the question is based on that. And the other one is to look at it more in the form of the 5 koshas. Koshas means that which as though covers. Kosha here is not, the same word is used for treasury, kosha, but here it doesn't mean treasury, it means a scabbard. You know, there is a sword, and the covering of the sword is called what? Scabbard. And so when the sword should be in the scabbard at all times, and when you hang the scabbard and then you come and look at it, what does it look like? It looks like the sword, but it is not the sword. So this is how the Panchakosha are like that. They look like the Atma, but they are not Atma. That is the idea. They are areas of error. So somebody who doesn't know that it's a scabbard can think it's a sword and then pick it off the thing and go to war with it, thinking that we can strike somebody with it. But you can't. Why? Because it is actually a covering. So an as though covering. So you can look at the verse that way. And when we look at the verse that way, what kind of an interpretation do we get? We get the interpretation Indriyebhyah parahi arthaha. Indriya here becomes the upalakshana, a figurative way of saying body. So, and then the arthaha don't become sense objects. What do they become? Prana. You see how we have laden this, because there is enough, what is that called? There is enough tradition there is enough customary tradition in the lineage to give this interpretation as well. So the arthaha here are not sense objects. What are they? Prana. So then the prana is more subtle, more interior, greater, more pervasive than the manaha. What is manaha? Mind. And then the buddhi tops the manaha, and so on. So, and then we have this panchakosha discussion with one interpretation. Now Adi Shankara takes it for what it is. All right. Adi Shankara takes it for what it is, and arthaha means the padarthaha. Arthaha means the padartha means word and its meaning. Pada, word. Artha, meaning. Meaning what? Very beautiful way of saying sense objects. Very beautiful. So the sense organs and the sense objects are married to one another, except if you are a jnani. Yes. Then they are divorced. But if you are not a jnani, if one is not a jnani, for the ordinary person who has no Vedanta, then the sense objects and the sense organs are what? Married. There is a connection, a kind of a connection that is always there. And what is that connection? The connection, the sambandha, is the revealer and revealed sambandha. Who is the revealer? Sense organs. What is it that's revealed? Sense objects. How come the sense objects are greater? The revealed is greater than the revealer. That's what it is saying. So the revealed is greater, more pervasive, and then what else? More subtle than the Indriyas, the revealer. This makes no sense. Even though it's a verse about the senses, it makes no sense at all. Because it leaves one flummoxed, because this shouldn't be the case. Because the sense objects, we hear this all times. There are two things. What are the two things? Atma and Anatma. And then the sense objects are powered by what? Atma. And they reveal what? Anatma. But this is baby Vedanta. Gu gu ga ga. Okay, this is Vedanta baby talk. And here, this is not baby talk here in this verse, it is adult talk. Very, very important to see that distinction. So, from this standpoint, everything is Atma. There is no Anatma here. What are the sense objects? Even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. What is this? Yeah. What are the sense objects? What are the sense organs? Atma. And actually, both are jada. If you want to have that inert and sentient discussion, both are jada. Both are insentient. By themselves, they are insentient, small, pervasive, not that great, but by this, by this understanding. Both are insentient. But yet, they are Atma. Both are insentient, and both have the capacity to be objectified. Let us not forget that. Can I objectify my eyes or not? Yes. How do we know? The first verse of the Drigdrishya Viveka tells us this. Rupam Drishyam. When Drishya, the object, Drishya here means object, Drik means what? Subject, seer. So, Rupam Drishyam. When that which is an object is a form, then who is the seer? Eyes are the seer. Lochanam Drik. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik. Then suddenly, you're outside, a little dust, small microscopic piece of dust falls in the eyes, or an eyelash falls in the eyes. And then suddenly you're rubbing and all this, and then something has fallen in the eye. Now the eye itself becomes something to be looked at. So you go in front of the mirror and open the eyes like a cyclops and then look. And that time, what are you looking at? Eye. Is the eye an object or not? Yes, because you are wondering why it is burning and what is there. What is this foreign object in the eye? You are thinking about that. And so, tadrishtva driktu, tadrishyam driktu manasam. Now, the mind is the eye of the eye. Ah, the mind is watching the eye. So, the eye has become what? Object. Just like everything the eye objectified, now the poor eye is itself what? A sad little object. Then what? Drishyaha dhivrittaya. So also now the mind itself becomes an object. When? When you start wondering, what's wrong with me? Why do I have these mad thoughts? Now the thoughts in the mind are what? Objectified. The thoughts in the mind are objectified, and you start thinking, oh, the mind is restless. So that time, who is the seer? Is the mind still the seer? No, the mind is an object of sight. The seer is Sakshi, Sakshin. We just translate it as witness to differentiate it from witless. That's all. So, but it's really not witnessing anything. The Atma is incapable of witnessing. It does not have eyes. It does not have ears. How can it? It doesn't have a mind. How can it witness? Then why do we call it witness? And as though witness, which is all knowledge, so it's a knowing being, a conscious knowing being, conscious knowing being, which is in the which reveals everything. So the Sakshi is actually the revealer more than a witness, because the revealer is not an action here, even though it's a verb to reveal. Okay, if this much is understood, we can go further. And so, what is this further? Looking at this verse. Why are the Indriyas less superior to the objects of the senses in this particular verse? And so, the answer from this standpoint is very easy. The sense objects are for whom? Indriyas. They are for the Indriyas. They are tailor made for the sense organs. Each one is a match. All the restaurants are for what? We talked about this in the morning. For the 3 inches called tongue. The whole food industry, Michelin star, and then what else? The more the stars, the less the food. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's just amazing. I had gone for some world meeting, and then first of all, being vegetarian in these foreign areas very difficult. But anyhow, we communicated them vegetarian, all these things, and then something came, and we were very, very, very hungry, extremely hungry, and everybody was restless, very hungry. And then they brought this big plate, and everybody thought when they saw the plates coming, good, nice, bada plate. And in that plate, there was one small little thimble full of rice turned upside down with a little mint leaf sticking on it, and then a little sauce spread kind of artistically like that. And then 3 dots made of another sauce. Enjoy. It was tasty, but it was gone. Okay. So this is what? Sense object. And in that moment, I tell you, that plate, even though it had just a little thimble full of rice and a few things there, it had, and I forgot, it was like a little crescent of a carrot there, cut on the other side. Yes. And this was, I tell you, in that moment, the arthaha, the sense objects, were greater than the sense organs. That when you're really hungry and something comes, then you see it is more pervasive. Why is the food more, like let's take food. Why is it more pervasive? Because the tongue remains here and the food has gone all over the body. I mean, take it literally. Think about it. And the eyes remain here, but what you have seen goes in the mind and then creates a certain desire, goes all over, goes in the heart, sits in the heart in the form of a wonderful memory. You see how they are actually more pervasive. Eyes are located right here. So what you see, but then sometimes you say, I can't unsee this. There is an expression. I can't unsee this means it is etched in my memory forever. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing doesn't matter, but it's etched in my memory forever and ever. It is etched in my memory, and so that means what? The sight, object of sight, where was it? Outside of this body mind sense complex. Now it has crept inside. You see, the eyes don't go out, the eyes remain here. So this is how the artha are more subtle, because they are all over, more subtle, more pervasive, and what else? Mahat, greater. They are greater in this sense, okay? Because the sense objects are made for the sense organs, and then the sense organs, between the sense organs and the sense objects, there is a dependency, there is a codependency. The sense objects are waiting to be discovered by who? The sense organs. And the sense organs are waiting to consume, become a bhokta in relation to who? Sense objects. Even though that mutual, anyonya ashraya, this is the Sanskrit word, even though the anyonya ashraya is there between the two, the sense objects, they are not really waiting to be discovered, are they? We say that because they don't have feelings, they are not really waiting to be discovered, but neither are the sense organs waiting to discover them on that level. But the sense organs are what? Let us not forget, they are horses in this example, and they are driven by the mind, whipped by the mind. They go towards the sense objects. So so where is the greater dependency? On part of the sense organs. So for those reasons, the arthaha become greater. Does that make sense? Say yes, even if you don't want to. Okay. Now we'll take the 3/4 of the question. Okay, see, if you put it here like that. Yeah, like that. Okay, yeah. So 3/4. Now, could you please help me understand adhyaropa and apavada? Understanding that superimposition is mithya. Where does it come? Is it adhyaropa or is it apavada? Where does negation and affirmation come? Yes and no falls between the two of them. Okay. Now, first we have to understand, because we have not talked about this yet, what is adhyaropa and what is apavada. The best way to do it is to take our favorite Vedantic example. What kind of snake? Rope snake. Yeah. So you're enjoying a nice walk, and you see something with 3 bends. What do you say? No, before that you say eek. Okay. And then you say snake. And then you say snake. And then what? And then you have your mobile. Oh, you're going to call somebody? No, it has a flashlight. You're going to shine the light on it. It's just a silly piece of rope. So rope is adhisthana. The adhisthana means that which is the basis for aropa. That's why it's called rope, okay? Because it is subject to aropa. Yes. So what is the rope? Adhisthana. It is adhisthana means it is the basis. It's a sitting duck for seeing snake where the snake really is not. But the rope lends itself to a snakiness because it has this pliable structure, and it is of the same thickness as the imagined snake. So the imagined snake is seen on the rope, and that is called, quote unquote, superimposition. In fact, that word we should not use because it's not exactly a superimposition, but we use that because there is Vedanta, you have to keep being creative for all the words. So this is a kind of a superimposition. And so you see the snake. Where is the snake? Here. The snake came from this temple onto that rope. Why? Because it was literally a projected fear. My fear of snakes caused me to project the snake when some snake like object was perceived. So this is adhyaropa. Okay. Then the flashlight comes, and then what do I do with the flashlight? Negate the what? Rope or snake? Ah, you negate the snake. So the question, where is the mithya? It doesn't quite fit here, because what is mithya you can see. Here, what is mithya? Mithya means dependent reality. The poor imaginary fangless snake, the snake that cannot bite, which is in the form of this rope, the poor imagined snake on this real rope. So this is the projection, and so this imaginary snake is dependent upon the rope for its existence. Totally. In this example, the imagined snake is dependent upon the rope. Is the rope dependent upon the snake? No. Rope satyam, and then snake mithya. So the mithya snake is aropita, and the mithya snake is apavadita. Same. Mithya is what is aropita. Mithya is, first it is superimposed and then it is negated. Why superimpose in order to negate? Because we have a lot of time on our hands. No, because we have to understand the Jagat properly. We understand, we take this rope metaphor all the way to the Jagat, and upon again, we can't use, but so, I should keep my hands permanently like this, okay, as though upon this so-called, what is that? This, upon this Brahman, the so-called Jagat is a superimposition. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jagan Mithya. And so then the Mithya is superimposed, and the Mithya is what is removed. Before the superimposition, what was there? Brahman. After the superimposition, during the superimposition, what is really there? Brahman. After the superimposition, when the superimposition is cognitively, you can't go around removing the Jagat, don't even try. So, after the cognitively, the Jagat has been seen as mithya, the Jagat has been removed, so to speak, cognitively. What is left? Brahman. That is what we have to see. Hope that was clear. If not, you can ask again on another day. What is Adhyaropa and Apavada in Vedanta? I love this. Yeah, I love it because this has already been answered. Okay. So, where are these people coming from, really? Okay, how does Vritti Vyapti take place in the case of Brahmakara Vritti? Because unlike other Vishayakara Vrittis, it has no form, formless Brahman. Then is it at all a Vritti or actually no Vritti, no thought wave illumined by consciousness, hence no Phala Vyapti in this case? No, it is Vritti Jnanam. Yeah, first, this will not make sense to most people. Raise hands who all did not understand this question. Yeah, see, that is why. Okay, so we will answer this from the beginning. Vritti means thought. Vritti means thought. Vritti, thought, and then everything is in the form of a thought. So how do I come to know pot? Pot thought, and then pot. Ghata vritti, pata vritti. So this is how the world is known. The world enters the mind through a series of vrittis. We need not call them need not call them thoughts. Let's call them vrittis, mental modification. That which the change, the subtle change the mind undergoes when it cognizes something, that is called vritti, through which that what is cognized is called vritti. Technical word. And then, so what about this vritti? So the whole jagat is cognized in the form of vrittis. There is no other kind of jnanam possible because of the structure of the mind. It's vritti jnanam only. Yes. And so now how does knowledge of Brahman takes place? So for that we have to see. So if you want to know ghata means what? Pot. If you want to know ghata, what should you have? Ghatakara vritti. A vritti in the form of the and the shape of the pot. That can take place because I know what pot looks like. That can take place. And then by extension, if you want to know Brahman, what kind of vritti you should have? Brahmakara vritti. Brahmakara vritti. Now the questioner says, when Brahman doesn't have akara, form, how can you have a vritti in the shape or form of Brahman? You can still have a vritti. What is the vritti? That Brahman is not having a form vritti. And that this Brahman answers to the call of the self-evident I, vritti. This self-evident I alone is Brahman, Ishvara, vritti. It has to come in the form of a thought. And that thought is the thought which arises in the Upanishads. The basis for the thought, the raw material for the thought arises in the Mahavakya in the form of the sentences that show oneness between Jiva and Ishvara in the Upanishads. And then what happens is that it is communicated, it is transmitted by the teacher to the student. That is why the centrality of the teacher for these teachings is going to be scored throughout this week by this Chandogya Upanishad. So what has happened now is that the teacher's words are the pramana, live pramana. We'll see what pramana is. Pramana means the way of knowing. So the Upanishad becomes a way of knowing something that I cannot know otherwise. How will I know I'm Brahman? Even if I do Shirshasana, stand on the head, I will not understand that I am Brahman. In order to know I am Brahman, what should I do? I have to study the Upanishad. And studying the Upanishad by myself is not encouraged unless I have an aspirin handy. Because what will I get when I read the Upanishads by myself? Headache. Yes. So reading is not advised, because you read, that is whole, this is whole, from the whole came the whole. When you take away the whole from the whole, and what remains is the whole. Shanti, shanti, shanti. It's a correct translation. There is nothing wrong with the translation. What understanding took place? Then you have a question, satsang question. What remains is the whole. Is it spelled HOLE? Because that's what I'm experiencing in my head. That's what people will say. So the Upanishad has to be studied. It has to be assimilated through the transmission of the material of the Upanishad converted into bite-sized teachings by the teacher. And then the teacher, how did the teacher know how to convert it into assimilable portions each time? Because she learned that from her teacher, who learned that from his teacher, who learned that from her teacher, all the way to Sadashiva. Sadashiva Samarambham, that which began with Bhagavan. The first teacher is what? What? Bhagavan. How do you know first teacher is? How do you know there is a first teacher? Just like we know there was a first mother, correct? Yeah. Who was the first mother? Don't say monkey. All right. Monkey also has mom. All right, dad. So first mother, Bhagavan, Bhagavati. First father, Bhagavan. From which everything has come. So the first teacher also is who? Bhagavan in the form of Adi Guru. We say Dakshinamurti somewhere was there, but now it is not there. You can see in the temple. And so this is the understanding that the transmission of the teaching takes place, and when one is told you are Brahman, when Shvetaketu is told by his teacher come father, who is Uddalaka, when Uddalaka tells Shvetaketu, Tat Sat, that Sat, another name for Brahman is what? Sat. Tat Sat Sa Atma. You, that Sat is this Atma, and you are that Shvetaketu. Tat Tvam Asi Shvetaketu. When he is told that, then what happens? There is a knowing in the heart. And the knowing is not the same as knowing an object like pot. It's knowing of what? Oneself. Not oneself as 5 foot so many inches tall, not oneself as somebody who is fond of this and not fond of that, not oneself as somebody with a bank account or no bank account, but oneself as that which is the innermost, which is the greatest, which is the subtlest, which has no name, no form, that oneself. So it doesn't have name, form, it cannot be objectified. You are absolutely right, but it is still a vritti because it need not be objectified. Because why? It is you. And who are you? Self-evident I. How do I know I'm self-evident I? Because when I ask a question, are you here? See, much better than in the morning. So we are getting there. So it means what? It means my presence is an self-established, self-evident presence. And so that presence, whose nature is formless, whose nature is free of sorrow, free of this is what it comes from the teacher. And I recognize it as myself. So I don't need any akara. And yes, it's a vritti. Oh, but the vritti is kshanika. Kshanika means momentary. And then how can a momentary vritti carry with it the knowledge of the infinite I? How can it do that? That's an unasked question. How can it do that? The finite vritti, how can it carry on its little back the infinite, the knowledge of the infinite? Well, the knowledge of the infinite is infinitely present and is everywhere. And so when the vritti comes with this knowledge, it self-destructs. It falls away, leaving in its wake the knowledge that has hit the target, which is what? The heart, the place, the buddhi, whatever you want to call it, the place that was suffering from self-ignorance. And that vritti is like a flower which goes and touches the heart and opens the door to show the vision of Ishvara as oneself. So that is how it is. So it's like the knowledge of the infinite. This is lot of paradoxes in Vedanta. This is also one more paradox. The knowledge of the infinite is paradoxically carried on the back of a finite vritti, but because what it is carrying is myself, and it is, I am immediately recognizing it as myself, it is immaterial what happens to the vritti. Let the vritti commit suicide, let it be murdered, let it fall away, let it disappear like the fog. Doesn't matter. What it carries is myself alone. It has revealed, its job was to reveal, and it has revealed and gone. So, therefore, it is still a vritti jnanam alone. This is what is called vritti. Vritti vyapti, the mind being flooded by understanding I am this Brahman. So then, in the case of the pot, there is a in the case of the pot, what is there in the case of the pot? I know pot. Janami ghatam. That is the called phalavyapti. Two operations are there in the cognition of a pot. In pot pratiti. Pratiti means what? Cognition. In pot pratiti, two operations are there. In self pratiti, only one operation is there, because if you say I know Brahman, what are you declaring? Your own ignorance. Yeah, you're advertising your ignorance as soon as you say I know Brahman. This is what happened in the Kena Upanishad. Yeah, teacher says here is a test. We are also having a test. Okay, we are having two tests, one on the 1st of July, yeah, and for the regular students here, and one sometime in September. And so here is the test. In the ancient test, the teacher puts a test. Who knows Brahman? The eager beaver, apple polisher student, meaning wants to be on the right side of the teacher. I know, yes, you have taught me, your teaching has not gone in vain. Shut up, sit down, you don't know anything, the teacher says. Your knowledge is like a little dust ball. You know, when you broom, when you sweep, you get these little dust balls. It's as good as a piece of dust. And then the other one thinks, oh, maybe the right answer is, I don't know Brahman. So that fellow says, I don't know Brahman. And the teacher says, that's evident on your face. Sit down. Yeah. Very, very evident you don't know Brahman. And the right answer is of someone who says, I will not say that I know, and as an object, I will not say that I don't know. Moreover, whoever has understood what I have said also knows. So the whole teaching is in the form of a paradox, because the whole idea is to shake the person up completely, where you are just going like this. All the notions are dropping. Yes, that's why it's called Upanishad. It makes you shed all the notions. It makes you shed everything one has been holding on tightly. This is the autumn. The autumn has come. When the Upanishad comes, it's like autumn for a tree. And then the wind blows and the autumn comes and all the leaves just fall. And in the West, it's very dramatic actually. One day it has some yellow leaves and red leaves. Next day you see it's just all gone. Little bit windy day. Next day it's all gone. Same thing, the student of the Upanishad also. Full of all kinds of colored notions, various notions, clinging on to them, and then exposed to the Upanishad, all of those notions have to drop away, leaving in their wake this receptivity for this understanding. Okay. Then, so you can, this is a knowledge without a knower. One more paradox. It's a knowledge without a knower. Because as soon as you say, I know, that means what? You become a karta, jnana kartru. You become a karta, how do you say in English? Doer. You become a knower. There is doership. There is doership connected to the knowing. There is an author, an agent of this knowledge, and Vedanta is that which sheds the notion that you are a agent. There is no agent. Oh, am I then a victim? There is no victimization either. You are neither a victim nor an agent, and neither are you a producer nor a consumer. Then, next question. The waking experience and the waking world is also like a dream. Please clarify. Is the waking world the projection created by our own individual mind? No, the waking experience and the waking world is also like a dream. Why is it like a dream? Both are seen. Yes. Dream is seen or not? Yes. Waking world is seen and experienced or not? Yes. Dream is falsified or not upon waking? Yes. Is the waking world falsified in the sleep? Yes. Don't hesitate. Say yes. I want a resounding yes. Yes. Unless you're asleep right now. Yeah. So, because in the sleep, where is the waking world? You had a fight with somebody and went to sleep. Where are they? Where is the bad feelings connected to, oh, I wish I had not said these things. I wish they had not said these things. Where is the regret? Where is the pain? Where is the sorrow? Where is the credit card debt? Where is the unpaid monthly installments belonging to the house? Where are all of them? Falsified, gone, lost, not there. So, swapna is the dream state is false because you come out of it. And for the same reason, the waking state, if that is your argument, we can extend the same argument for the waking state also. The waking state is also eminently falsifiable. Why? Because you come out of it, you are no longer in it. No, but I'm waiting to wake up. So the dreamer can also say, I'm waiting to dream again. That doesn't count, because does the sleeping person know I'm waiting to wake up? No, not at all. The sleeping person will go on sleeping. What wakes one up is prarabdha. You don't wake up, neither does the alarm clock. What wakes you up is the karma that is there. Karma that is waiting to be finished is the waker upper of the person. So, yes, the waking world also has to be, I wouldn't say falsified, it has to be seen as mithya. As we grow into this knowledge, the waking world, the waker, is also a dependent reality, a superimposition, a status superimposed upon the I that is free of waker, dreamer, or sleeper. No waker, no dreamer, no sleeper. All that is there is consciousness. That's all that is there. One singular, undiluted, non dual consciousness. This is the subject matter of the Mundaka Upanishad, which I pray that everyone studies at some point. Very beautiful Upanishad. And there, in the commentary to the Mandukya Upanishad, in the commentary, in the last portion of the commentary, the last chapter of the commentary is called Alata Shantihi. Alata means a thick incense stick. Thick incense stick, the kind you with citronella oil and all, you would light that and put it to keep away bugs and mosquitoes. Organic pesticide without killing. It would just, they didn't like the smell, so they would not come and bite wherever this joss stick or this incense stick was. So the incense stick would have a glowing tip. This is called alata. So alata shanti prakarana is characterized by standing on a moonless dark night, standing in outside, and then doing fun things with this glowing tip. So you can write your name, sign it with a flourish. You can draw castles literally in the air, and then you can make designs You can make rangoli designs, you can do all kinds of things. You can take and swirl it, you can swirl along with it. And then when you stop, what is that? One non dual glowing tip. So, signing the name with a flourish and drawing a castle, all that is what? Waking state. Then going round and round, dream state, sleep state. All that which upholds the sleeping, dreaming, waking states and the corresponding experiences without being any of them is you. Is that which is non dual, without a second, all pervasive awareness, consciousness. Last one. Please, haha, I love this question also. Please explain more about how the sense objects are more superior than the sense organs. I am still confused. No longer, I hope. Yeah. We can end with the bhajan. Who would like to sing? Where are all the Saturday songsters? I'm looking at them, but they are not making eye contact. Yeah. They're refusing to make eye contact. I even smiled. Nothing came back. Where is Rakesh? I saw him somewhere there. Come. Bilingual bhajan. Doesn't matter if it's the same one. Yeah. We need a lullaby.
Okay. This is about little Krishna, where her mother scolds him and asks him, "Did you eat makhan?"
Butter. You ate butter.
Ah,
Yeah.
did you eat?
That's always a favorite. Baby Krishna and butter. What can go wrong? Yeah. Go ahead.
कान्हा कान्हा तूने क्यों माखन खाया, कान्हा कान्हा तूने क्यों माखन खाया, कान्हा कान्हा why did you butter eating, मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, mommy I no butter eating, mommy I no butter eating. In Hindi it is there that it's in the mobile, I forgot. So it's
Where is the mobile?
mobile is
Yeah, bring. This is worth it. Yeah.
okay. In Hindi, भोर भयो गयन के पाछे, भोर भयो गयन के पाछे, मधुबन मोहि पठायो, चार पहर बंसी बट भटक्यो, सांझ भरे घर आयो. Since the morning I cows following, Madhuban all day, flute I playing. Since the morning I cows following Madhuban all day, flute I playing. Cows are grazing, flute I playing. Now it's evening, I came running. I came running, I came running. Oh my mommy, when did I get time butter eating? Mommy, mommy, when did I get time butter eating? मैया मोरी मैं कब माखन खायो मैया मोरी मैं कब माखन खायो ओ कान्हा कान्हा तूने क्यों माखन खाया मैं बालक बहियन को छोटो छीको कही बीच पायो ग्वाल बाल सब बैर पड़े हैं बरबस गुह नाम टामो I am just a child, hands are small, butter at height, not reachable. I am just a child, hands are small, butter at height, not reachable. I butter dream, I butter dream. I am very hungry, I come running. I come running to you, mommy. Oh my mommy, when did I butter eating? I no butter eating. मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om